Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we're diving into Daejeon's cost of living, and I've got a very special guest with me to help break it all down. Meet Roger, my partner in crime, an expert in all things in Daejeon, and the one who handles most of the numbers around here.
Nice to meet you. I'm not sure about the expert part, but I'll do my best.
So today he's going to share his wisdom about everything from rent to utilities and to living the good life here in Daejeon.
So again, I'm Roger. Nice to meet everyone. If this goes off as a little nervous and first time, you guessed it, that's me, nervous and first time. The reason I volunteered or voluntold to do this video was to help Jen out a little bit since she's doing her travel and fitness channel. I thought I would add my part of here about our lifestyle and thought of a good idea, and that is that living here in Daejeon is quite a bit different than living in Seoul. So it's a little quieter, and from what I'm finding, it seems to be a little bit less expensive, especially on rent. I'll be going over that in a little bit. A little bit about me. I've been here in Korea for over a year now, kind of coming and going from the Philippines and Korea, a little bit in the United States where I'm from. Just thought this would benefit Jen's viewers, give a little bit about the price breakdown and a little bit about things to expect here in Daejeon.
Okay, babe. First question, why did you choose Daejeon?
All right, so I'm a little bit over analytical. What I wanted to have was I wanted to have a place, because when we visited Busan, I really liked that. But Busan is a 2-hour KTX train ride away, and here it splits that time. Here in Daejeon, it's about an hour away from either location. So Daejeon seemed very good to me. To be a little over analytical, I even actually looked at the weather. I looked at Daegu first, and the summers in Daegu can be a full 5 degrees Celsius higher on average than it is here in Daejeon. Being from a northern climate in the United States, I decided I wanted a little bit better weather. And of course, and like I mentioned, I wanted a little bit quieter environment. And I saw that Daejeon had some pretty good places to run, but most of the cities do. Most of the cities, I'm a runner, a long distance runner, and I really enjoy running along rivers and things like that.
Next question, how did you choose this apartment?
That's a tough one. What I did at first, a lot of people who come here, generally they decide where they want to live and then they get together with a real estate agent. I'm kind of a do-it-yourselfer. So what I decided to do is I looked on Naver Maps, and within Naver you can, actually this is Naver's real estate site. With that you can go around and you can just browse places that are available. And for the most part, I found that most of these places are available. What I've heard from others is some of the places are gone by the time their picture is shown, but in a lower market like here in Daejeon, it's a little easier. I chose 5 places based on location. So specific to her question, I wanted a place with lots of restaurants around because I like to walk and I like to go somewhere good. But next, it had to be next to the river, and this one happens to be about 5 minutes away. One thing you might want to be careful with living in the river is mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are like a national bird here in Korea. So you got to make sure that you're able to get some of these like fumigating type room deodorizers that detract or kind of repel the mosquitoes. And the other thing, that the way I chose this place is I wanted a place that was new. So I wanted something that was within 5 years old. That way I knew that the insulation would be better, the soundproofing would be better, just about everything. I ended up picking a place on the top floor. So this is a 3-story villa. For me personally, I had read on a lot of information boards that noise can be a problem. There's people that above you that make lots of noise, or below you. So I wanted to be on the top floor. Even though it's only 3 floors, it made it a lot more convenient. We don't hear any noise. Over the last 2 months we've been back and forth to Seoul, and it's noisy. We've been to 3 different Airbnbs and it was noisy. Here the sound level is very low. Sometimes you hear something below it. The other thing is, because I'm cheap and I get free heat in the winter, natural gas is the most expensive utility, especially in winter. And if you live a couple of floors up, then you get the rising heat from other people. The bad part is you have to walk. So you have to walk 2 floors. If that's not your bag, then you may want to go lower. That was why I chose this place. So now the overall question is, does it cost less money to live outside of Seoul? To many, this is an obvious answer. Yes, since it's not the heart of Seoul where everyone wants to live, then there is going to be a discount in some things. Spoiler alert, most of the things that I found are about the same cost, and that includes food and transportation and even utilities. The one big thing I found as a difference is rent, and rent makes a huge difference. So without further ado, let's go through some of our monthly expenses. Spoiler alert, not everything is cheaper, less populated areas. Daejeon is not a low population area. It's got a few million people here. So there's plenty of population, and it's quite representative of cities ex Seoul, outside of Seoul. So what I'll do is I'll list off a few of the monthly expenses, as well as talk a little bit about some of the dynamics special in my situation. Obviously, that's not going to be the same for everyone, but for me, this will be my situation. Jen will go ahead and put some of the prices up here, as well as the conversion rates. Starting with rent. Rent is 250,000 won, and that is with a 20 million won deposit. So they call that key money. So if that's new to you, then you may want to do a Kegel search on Jonse and Wolse. Those are how they have a difference between paying a giant deposit and little to no rent, and paying a moderate or low deposit. Not that 20 million is low. Certainly I could have gotten a higher rent and a lower deposit, but in my case, for a newer place and a place that I liked, 250K was a nice deal. My next biggest expense is NHI health insurance. The full rate for national health insurance is 153,000 won. And now there are varying prices or levels of that. 153 is the highest. It gets lower, like if you're employed and your employer pays half of it, or if you have a certain age or certain other conditions. 153K is my price. Now let's go to utilities. Electric is obviously different in winter than it is in summer. Basically, in electric, in the winter, it's just for keeping the lights on, maybe the induction stove, but really not much more than that. So our winter electric bill is 11,000. It's very low. In the summer, it's higher, obviously, because we have a 1-ton split aircon unit, but it runs very efficiently, and that's at 28K for summer months. My average, when you take 12 months all the way across the board, is 32,001. The next higher utility is gas, and gas can be very high. Don't use my scenario as the same as anyone else's. I've heard of people with office tels in Seoul paying 3, 4, 500,000 won per month, which is just a crippling amount. My thermostat is set at about 21 or 22. Again, that's because we have heat rising and we don't need to keep our thermostat at a high level. So that does keep the gas amount. Gas is used about 4 months. In November is when I first started using it. And then it's March now, and these temperatures are starting to get in the mid-teens, which pretty soon we won't need it. I assume by the end of March, we won't need gas again. Our winter bill is across the 4 months has averaged 56K, and our summer bill for gas is only 6K. That's 22,000 average one across the year. So 22,000 average per month. Next, there is the villa management fee. So this is the price. So we're in a villa. The price for management to come in, do the cleaning. They also take care of the garbage outside, bring it to the street. There's a small food disposal fee within there as well, but it also includes internet and it includes water. And that averages about 36,000 won per month. One odd extra bill is Korean Broadcasting System, KBS. We don't use the TV, but they charge you anyway. But luckily it's a small amount, and it's 2,500 won per month. My phone bill I get through Worry Mobile. So Worry is a financial company here, but they also have postpaid plans. And in my case, I get 7 gigabytes data with 1 megabyte speed. So if I run out of the 7 gigabytes, I still get 1 megabyte service. It's pretty good. It's all I need. But if you need more, then there are more better postpaid plans as well. But that one's 17,000. And then my last bill is our gym. Obviously, this is Fit Traveler, and we prioritize the gym. And I'm going to give you the membership rate if you were going to stay at least 6 months. So most people know that they're going to stay in a place and get a gym for 6 months. So if you get a 6-month membership, it's 44,000 each for a total of 88,000 for 2 people. That makes a grand total, at least if I counted it right, just under 600,000 K1 per month, 591,000, yeah, to be closer to exact. So really cheap. So I think your mileage is going to vary, but really you're going to spend or save the most on how you analyze and find the best price and deposit for that rent. One more thing you may spend some money on is transportation. Largely similar. I know in Seoul they're still down at 1,400 won for a train ride or a subway ride. Here they have raised it. There's only one line that goes from Daejeon station all the way up north, and it's 1,700 at its most expensive, but we're not talking about a lot of money. I think buses are 1,500. And then one more thing you may be interested in is groceries. Obviously, everyone eats differently. Everyone has different preferences. I'll have Jen put a list of just things that I've bought recently. Luckily, we don't have the egg scare here in Korea that they do in the US. So we're still paying 7,001 for 30 eggs. And your food costs are going to differ depending on, whether or not you have a smaller volume. One more reason I picked this place is it's, 5 minutes walk from a E-Mart Trader. E-Mart Trader is the Costco of Korea. The nice part is they don't have a membership fee, but they also don't have the selection of Costco. But for us, it's more than fine, and they have big volume of things at a lower cost for things that we use often. We like it. It's worked out very well. There's also a Home Plus, just a 5-minute bike ride from here, as well as most, here in Wolpyeong-dong, they have a nice grocery store as well. What about restaurants? I will be brutally honest here, and I said that the reason why I came here was into this location was that it was close to a lot of restaurants. We don't find ourselves eating in the restaurants here. I'm a little picky, and I've not found them to be as high a quality, as in Seoul. Maybe because there's not as much competition, and maybe they have to pay a little bit more to transport raw food to Daejeon. But I haven't found the quality. Maybe that's just me, or maybe I just don't know where to look. I have found some very, very good restaurants through Coupang delivers. That's just as convenient, and so we just find ourselves eating in more often than eating out. So that's about all I have. Thanks for letting me interrupt your channel. Very nice to meet you.
And that's a wrap on our discussion about the cost of living here in Daejeon. We hope this gave you a clear picture of what to expect if you're planning to live here. Thank you guys, and see you again.